Now in this video, I realize I'm going to be speaking to a very small percentage of you. A lot of you won't have this innate thing that whenever you see another man doing better than you, you put competition on him. You have this sort of ego that I guess you could say is a little bit evil. Now this negative energy, you've used it before. You've used it to fuel your workouts. You've used it to fuel stopping yourself procrastinating and actually getting to work. You feel that it's negative, but is it really that negative? You may have this feeling that with this power, you have a sort of like difference. You're sort of different than the average TikTok scrolling classmate, aren't you? Now, I don't want to be like wishy-washy, but this thing, it may very well mean that you are going to be very successful in the future. Now, oftentimes in the modern day self-improvement industry, it's called ego is the enemy. Ego is often hated these days, but from a few people that are extremely intelligent to my knowledge, so Hamza and Tate, they both heavily disagree on the idea of ego is the enemy. I'm sure they've reevaluated the Stoic philosophy of ego is the enemy, but their point is that you can channel this negative energy of seeing someone that's doing better than you, someone that maybe isn't as hench as you, maybe is skinnier than you, but he has a kind of hot girlfriend, and maybe that triggers you, but they tell you it's a good thing, and I think so too. Just in case you wanted to know, I also have this, and that's why I'm making this video. Now, the wrong way, this is important to know, the wrong way to use the ego is actually to use it the normal way. The normal way is to literally just look at someone that's better than you again and be like, nah, I'm better than him. Or maybe just look at people that are even worse than you and be like, oh, I'm the best. But chances are you're just in the wrong pool. You're just the biggest fish in the pool, and it's time to switch pools. Now, I'll give you a example of mine that's, I think, the most easy to describe. So let's say I'm in the gym and I'm grinding out some bicep curls, or maybe I'm benching. And this dude that's maybe like 20 years older than me, so maybe 30, 40. Thing is, he's got this pretty girlfriend. And so he comes in walking all like with his shoulders like this, thinking he's the guy, right? This is what I'm thinking in my head. Oh, he thinks he's the guy. Oh, he's benching whatever. Oh, I can beat him. He's such a piece of shit. I can take his girlfriend from. That's literally what is going on inside my brain. And if you have that, then you can relate to that. If you don't, then this video is kind of odd. It won't make much sense to you. But I just remember me getting like a 20% strength increase just by being pissed off by this guy. That is how powerful these emotions can be. You can literally get pissed off by someone that is literally inferior, that has smaller biceps, that is literally like 20 kg below your weight. You see that he's curling 12 kg, you're like, what the fuck? I can curl 10, and I'm like 60, like I'm like literally way more bulkier than him. And he does that, and you get pissed off. And so what do? You literally go to the racks, put back the 10 kg, get the 14, go like in front of the mirror, make sure that he's kind of seeing it, and you literally you actually lift it up. And from that point onwards, you realize you needed to progressive overload. Now, you may be wondering why this is going to make you successful. How is this going to make you successful? How does this separate you from the 99%? Now, I also thought about this. This is a self-limiting doubt I had before I wanted to make this video. However, what killed that self-limiting doubt for me was actually talking to some friends at school, some like classmate associates, if you will, that aren't on self-improvement, that don't go to the gym, that like they're just normal people, normal 99 percentile classmates. Okay, I was talking to them and I was like, oh, do you ever get that feeling when you see some skinny guy with like fluffy hair and he's a little bit of a road man, but he's got like kind of a hot girlfriend? Do you ever get pissed off by that? They're all like, oh no, he's just got a girlfriend. No. How are you ever going to succeed in life if you don't use this? However, how, bro, this, you can apply this in everything. How are you gonna get a raise against the better salesman if you go down the route of the 9 to 5 and like whatever? How are you gonna live without the competition instinct? How are you gonna be like, oh, he's just gonna go, no, I don't get it. How? How are you okay with these things? This is a lot like the Tate's example, right? Where Tate, I think he said when he was, 17 something, right? He was walking with a bunch of people, a bunch of his friends, maybe in high school or something. And he saw this guy with a Ferrari, and he turned to his friends. He was like, oh, do you ever wonder how he got that Ferrari? Aren't you ever pissed off when you see some guy that has that amount of money to spend on a sports car? And his friends are like, no, he's rich. This is a lot like that example. And I remember specifically one of those friends during the lunchtime break when I was talking to all of them. Now, this guy's like actually on a little bit of self-improvement, but of course he's not as into it as me. He watches like Iman Gaji, Hamza, of course, but he hasn't watched them for a while. And he's just been kind of playing games on his phone and laying on his bed. I don't know why he does that. If you've watched Hamza, I don't know why you're still doing those things. And so we go into this conversation of what we were doing recently, how's our life changing, how's self-improvement, all of those things. And what he told me was, of course, he was laying on his bed and playing games, whatever. Aside from that, he was watching this guy called Sander Stage. Now, I came across this guy ages ago when I was doing my SMA journey. I found his tips like somewhat helpful, but I kind of skipped his channel anyways. At that time anyways, when I was doing my SMA, he had a channel with a few thousand only, and so I thought I could take him in competition. I always place people above me. I always place them possible to take down, do you get me? Like possible to topple. And so at that time I was like, oh yeah, I can take this guy. And now, even now, especially now, I have a YouTube channel. I think I can take people like that. Now, I don't know how many subscribers he's on now, but honestly, bro, if the belief is there, then it is possible. And I'm talking about the true core belief down to your heart. You say that to your heart, you truly, truly believe that, then it will always work out. But back to the conversation. As soon as I said that, I can take him in competition, he laughed. He fucking laughed at me. This, and he was also one of those guys that don't really have to compete. I mean, he has a little bit, but he's just like, he doesn't really turn everything into competition. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm at a level now where this competition instinct, this ego use, I use it so fucking much that literally, like someone that's super inferior to me, I still use it. I see everything as competition, and I don't see how I would not do that. How I would actually function without seeing everything as competition. Now, obviously, don't go into toxic, like whatever. Don't actually go over and be like, oh, shut the fuck up, I'm better than you. Don't do that. Actually, sometimes if it's, I won't talk about that. And so obviously when he laughed, I was triggered, and so that like really led me for a couple of days just to like put my head down, nose to the grindstone, whatever you call it, and just get to work. Another self-limiting doubt that you may have after watching all of the things I've just said, you may think it's a little bit toxic, and it's okay to think about that. Like if you have the self-limiting doubt of, if I find satisfaction in beating others, is that really a mindset for healthy growth? I trust me, it is. And I'll tell you why. Because who else do you want to be? Do you want to be second place? Or do you want to take number one? Chances are that the other person, if they have also the same competition instinct as you do, if that is the case, guess what will happen? The 99% or the 80% here, and the two of you will fucking outcompete the 99 or the 80%, like all the way up. And guess what? Even if you win at the top, he'll be second, and the 99% will be down here because you two will have accelerated so far. And that is like the power. You've literally, by competing, you've made the guy in second place outcompete the 80%. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's still benefit to this guy in second place. Better than if he just didn't compete at all and he's just competing with some inferior people. So for you to come in to compete and like really aggressively do it, is actually a good thing to everyone. So the whole point of this video is, I'm sorry there isn't like a more actionable step of like, oh, write down the 10 things and then go ahead and visualize. No. The point of this video and the actionable step of this video is embrace your negative energy, bro. It's very true in what Tate says, I think. He says that in every emotion you can use it to your benefit. It's all about how you perceive the emotions and how you channel it into your growth. And so the moral of this video is embrace it, bro. Embrace your negative energy. Embrace the competition. In a bit, bro.